Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis Media once again, and welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. Now, before I get into it, I just want to say in my last video of After I Saw, I mentioned that I was going to go to a drive-in where they would play Mission Impossible Fallout and Skyscraper, but unfortunately plans changed and I didn't get a chance to go to the drive-in. So that's why you didn't see a review for Skyscraper. So, guess I'm just going to have to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray because there are way too many movies I already want to see, including these. The reason why I say these is because later I'm going to do another after I saw, because I saw two movies today. So first off, I'm going to review Christopher Robin. I saw it earlier this morning. And Christopher Robin, you basically have Christopher Robin. He is all grown up now, and he winds up meeting his favorite toys as he was growing up. Of course, Winnie the Pooh and all of them, and they're all in this film. And they see Christopher Robin coming from the Hundred Acre Wood, and they go to the Hundred Acre Wood. They travel all the way to the Hundred Acre Wood so he can bring Pooh back to where he was. But then later it gets into an adventure with about how Christopher Robin tells that he has a family now, he has a wife, he has a daughter, and from there on out we have a solid enough live action Disney film. Like this truly does for the most part honor the character of Winnie the Pooh in a live action form, because we all know who Winnie the Pooh is. There are so many books. It basically started off as a book. Last year there was actually a movie called Goodbye Christopher Robin that tells the story of how Christopher Robin, or how the Winnie the Pooh story was made, and how Christopher Robin was a real person, except his name that he goes by is Billy Moon. Don't worry, nobody calls him that in this movie. But anyways, for the most part, I found myself really enjoying the film. It's not a perfect film, but I will explain my flaws later on. What it gets right is the characters of Winnie the Pooh, they definitely get the characters right, and I think it was fantastic to see Jim Cummings back as Winnie the Pooh. Also, I forgot to mention, this is from the director of Finding Neverland, which basically told the story of how they were writing the play for Peter Pan, and I thought that was a very excellent film. This definitely isn't as memorable as that film, but there are some pretty memorable moments. For the most part, I think this film is truly very lighthearted. There isn't a depressing moment. It isn't anything that's gonna. I will say, this movie might make you. It didn't really make me tear up or anything. I didn't really feel anything. I was just expecting a fun retelling of Winnie the Pooh. It's certainly not a retelling. How it basically takes place like after all the adventures that Christopher Robin had with Pooh and all of them, and it's all in live action. Let me talk about the live action characters. They are pretty good. The colors are definitely not as they're not very that good, but I can kind of expect that, since it is a live action Winnie the Pooh movie, and if you're gonna have a live action, you need to make it look like how they would look like in reality. So that's basically what they would look like in reality, and for the most part, it looks pretty good. The CGI for the characters, Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore, Tigger, all of them, looks pretty good. It's just the coloring for them is kind of like off, but also there was this one part in the woods that really did not look that interesting. In fact, it looked too dark for a Christopher Robin film. Now there isn't anything like there is like this little brief war scene that happens, like because Christopher Robin went to war. But that's basically the one thing that I can spoil about this film. For a live action Disney film, this truly is. I could say this is much better than A Wrinkle in Time. So I will say it wasn't disappointing. I really expected it to be good, and it was. It wasn't a perfect film. It's not as I could say you can take your kids to see this, and if you're a fan of Winnie the Pooh, and if you grew up with Winnie the Pooh, I can say this might be satisfying for you, because there were tons of animated theatrical release Winnie the Pooh films. Like there was the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh, the Tigger movie, Piglet's Big movie, Pooh's Heffalump movie, and the Winnie the Pooh 2011 film. All those were released in theaters, and sorry if you heard a sound right there. It's just, but I will say I think I like the 2011 animated Winnie the Pooh film a bit more, even though that film is way too short. It's only an hour and 3 minutes long. This is an hour and 40 something minutes long, but I could say it's very well directed. I thought the main guy that played Christopher Robin, I think his name was Evans something. I don't know, but I thought he was good as Christopher Robin. He didn't really look like Christopher Robin that much. I could say his live action kid self. You do see his kid self. I thought looked a little bit better, but his performance in this movie is really good. Christopher Robin, the adult Christopher Robin, does a good job with his performance. It's just his look. He didn't really feel like Christopher Robin. He looks like more of a businessman trying to go to work. And that's what he does in this movie. That's his job in this movie. He's kind of a businessman, but like the plot with that, I didn't really feel like was very necessary. But for the most part, because I mean, yeah, you do have a few changes. I mean, the film takes place in London, and it was shot in, I think it was shot in, yeah. But for the most part, I found myself saying this was a solid film, and I walked out pretty satisfied. Although I didn't walk out because I had to see the next movie that I wanted to see. But overall, I could say I had a good time with this. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. Kind of a weak 4 out of 5, but I could say it definitely deserves it for the most part for being a satisfying live action follow up to Winnie the Pooh. Alright, so that's it for this video. The next movie I'm gonna review is 8th Grade. I'm really excited to talk about that film. It might be later tonight or tomorrow, I don't know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.